Hello everyone. In this video, I will show you how to use the logical functions and or, and how you can combine them with the function if for a more robust logical function. If you're not familiar with the function if, I recommend watching my video, the function if, to get the basics before watching this video. So let's get on it.
The logical functions are used in the spreadsheet to test whether a situation or a condition is true or false. And depending on the result, you can elect to do one thing or another. The function AND returns true if all conditions in the argument are true, and returns false if any of the conditions in the argument are false. For example, in this table, we have the written test scores and driving test scores from a DMV. The minimum passing score is 16 for each test, and both tests need passing score to get a license. Let's select cell D2, equal sign, function AND, open a parenthesis, and select cell B2, type greater than or equal to 16, comma, select cell C2, greater than or equal to 16, close the parenthesis, and press enter. Let's use the autofill tool to evaluate the same formula on the rest of the table. Let's validate our formula with a couple of pairs. On row 2, one score is below 16 and the other one is over, so there is a false. Then on row 4, both scores are over 16, so we got a true. So our function worked. The function OR returns true if at least one condition in the argument is true, and returns false if all conditions in the argument are false. Let's use the same data sample, but in this case, in a different DMV office, the rule says that if at least one of the tests is over 17, you get a license. Let's select cell D2, equal sign, function OR, open a parenthesis, and select cell B2, type greater than or equal to 17, comma, select cell C2 greater than or equal to 17, close the parenthesis, and press enter. Let's use the autofill tool to evaluate the same formula with the rest of the table. And let's validate it as well. Row 2, both scores are lower than 17, so we got a false. On row 3, at least one of the scores is greater or equal to 17, so we got a true. So our function worked too. As you can see, both functions are very useful at the time of trying to discriminate groups of data. Now, in both samples, we got true and false results. But if we combine this with the function if, we can take more advantage. For example, showing an actual pass-fail result or doing it with 1 and 0 so we can manipulate it as a number. Let me show you this with another sample. We have more data points this time. We have the criteria in the label of the column, pass if both greater or equal to 16, fail if 1 is lower than 16. Select cell D2, equal sign, if, open a parenthesis, then we write the logical expression. In this case, the function AND, open a parenthesis, select cell B2, greater than or equal to 16, comma, select cell C2, greater than or equal to 16, close the parenthesis. That finished the logical expression. Then, comma. For the true value, we will use pass between double quotation marks because it's text, comma, and then for the false value, I will use fail. Also between double quotation marks because it's text. Close the parenthesis and press enter. Use the autofill tool for the rest of the table. You can see instead of giving us a true or false result, we got an actual pass or fail. Let me do it again, but using numbers this time. Select cell E2, equal sign, if, open a parenthesis, then we write the logical expression. The function AND, open a parenthesis, select cell B2, greater than or equal to 16, comma, select cell C2, greater than or equal to 16, close the parenthesis. That finished the logical expression, then comma. For the true value, I will use 1, comma, and for the false value, I would use 0. Close the parenthesis and press enter. Use the autofill tool for the rest of the table. Having numbers gives you also the opportunity to add up numbers to know how many pass or how many fail for a quick summary. Let's go all the way down to cell E52, equal sign, sum, open a parenthesis, E2 to E50, close the parenthesis, and press enter. So out of 50 drivers, only 20 get their license and 30 fail. Again, it's a quick way of creating a summary.
I hope you find this video helpful to get you familiarized with Excel. Thank you for watching, and if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get access to my series of tutorials to learn Excel step by step. I'll see you in the next video.